Modified Life 777. We're back again to make another unique tower or farm, if you may speak to it that way. I like to say tower because it always looks like a tower, but you can name it however you like. So now we're making the steel tower. I know I showed you already the SGT tower. That is very nice, very big as well. This will be the same, but rearranged, because in the SGT tower I had a problem in the beginning part, like this part of the tower, because I had to do the tower first and then to do the bottom part. Because at first I did 4 steel presses to have 4 separate columns that do 4 separate things. In this case I will go for 1 steel press, so a center tower, a center staircase that takes all 4 pillars in it. So there is a specific way to do that. I know you can go with a V shape like you see behind me and then divide the V shape, but there is a hiccup in the steel mills. When you do this type of design, I show you right now. So when you do this type of design, right, it's easy, everybody use that, no problem. But you have to take care that the steel mills should, if you see, all on the right. The bigger part of the steel mills should on the right. So by that, what I mean by that, between the 2 steel mills there is a perfect number of blocks. So there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there is 6 empty blocks. And when you are designing a staircase with 6 blocks only, you don't have the middle block, you don't have the 7th block. So because you don't have the 7th block, you'll have a little problem like I had before, like I had here while doing this. So I went with the idea of going separate. I divided it. I put 3, you see, 3 stairs on the left, 3 stairs on the right, and then I was kept with 2 in the middle. So I put double staircase in the middle, then I joined them at the end to become 1. I know it's not a big deal, but I used to have problems because I'm a bit like a perfectionist, you know. So I always like to have everything equal, the left and the right equal sides. And with that single middle, now I have the left and right equal. So now let's go back to the actual part. So here we joined the both columns, the both staircases, and they're shooting into one. If you notice, I always separate the steel press a little bit from the staircases. There's not much of an understanding in it. I just do that because I like it to be like that. So when stuff is falling down, you can see the rhythm or the amount of materials that's falling down. It's kind of my thing. You can do it and you cannot do it as you like. Mala. But it works for me. If you like that, you can use that, or else you can reduce that little bit of blocks and put the steel press exactly under the staircase. But I noticed as well that when the tower is very high, like the SGT tower I did earlier. When materials fall, they fall really fast, and because of that they bounce off what they fall on. So when they fall exactly in the middle here, after going down all the stairs, normally the materials all start bouncing all over the place. And when the steel press is installed exactly under the staircase, half of the steel tends to pop out of the tower, and you lose a lot of materials like that. So I always use that 3 block difference because of that. Now let's continue with the top part. So I did the staircase double and then put that 3 and 3 on the sides, so I arrived exactly under each steel mill, as you see up there. So from here we go up. I picked this time, instead of blue and black for the steel, I put the red and black, so I'm doing each layer with a different color, sticking to the red and the black. I was thinking of removing the extra blocks. I don't really need to remove the extra blocks, but if you want to, you can. You should, to be exact. If you want to go the height that I'm trying to go now, and you want to do it very, very good, the way how I'm doing it now, if you want to give it the most work as it is, like leaving it by itself on the island, so it's more fast and more efficient, you can, but obviously for me I will leave it like that so you all can see how it's made. Alright, let's start the second layer. So as you can see, it sort of looks like as an airplane. You have the tail of the airplane, the 2 sides, imagine those as the wings, and when it stops in the middle it starts again on this side, so it's like 2 aeroplanes touching each other from the front. Alright, so the second part of the airplane thing, so we can go like that. Are you going to be my friend fastball here? Hi fastball. Thanks. Okay, so as you can see here, we have the 2 sort of design of an airplane, shooting against each other, touching from the middle. You can go by blocks. So if you go by blocks, you have the end exactly on top of the beginning of the first smelter, you see? You go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right, you have 6 blocks, then 1 on top to put on the smelter, 1 for the conveyor here in the middle, and 1 for each totem on the side. You can put 2 iron totems, but in order to reduce the amount of totems for the whole tower, I put 1 and 1. It's still more than enough for the whole system to work fine. So it's good to limit yourself to less totems than to put more and then have an issue later on, because then when you have a very tall tower, the issue will be you'll have too much coal, okay, because iron tends to get worked on, no problem, but coal tends to keep putting coal on inside the machine that you're working on, and in fact when you destroy that smelter, you'll see like a super big amount of coal that's standing there for nothing. So it's best you leave standard totems, not upgraded, added to the smelters. And I put upgrades to level 25 in the middle for the coal ones, so as they take good care of both of the mills at the same time. Alright, and even the filter, when you put the filter, let's put a filter so I can show you guys. Once the filter is in place, don't leave it as it is and keep on with the installation. Just tick on it and add on both sides the coal and the iron. For some of you, maybe a new thing this, maybe an old thing, alright, but it really makes sense, because if you think of it correctly, when you do not add nothing to the options of the filter works exactly as a randomizer, alright? So it randomizes everything. So it could be that at a certain point the filter will choose to keep shooting everything on the left or on the right. So you have either the left or the right other machine not working because of that. And I do a lot of tests, and with this I found out that when I left a machine working like this with no options selected, it took more time than supposed to finish what it was doing, even after 10 minutes or 1 hour or 5 hours or a day. I tested it quite for a long time, and I did a tower of 10 like this, exactly, of 10 levels, exactly the same like this one, without upgrades, without the options in the filter, alright? And a tower of 2 layers with all the things as supposed to, like the filter with the options done, with the upgrades on the middle coal totems, alright? And incredible but true, the one that was faster was the one that had 2 layers. It was faster than the one that had 5, because at the beginning you'll see that the one at 5 obviously is faster, but then at a certain point in time you'll see that the tallest tower that doesn't have options, doesn't have upgrades, it slows down because of that filter problem. Then you'll see later on if you try it yourself. But for me, in order to make the best out of the towers that I build, I want to be sure of what I am doing. So that's why I test before I show you guys. Alright. So as you can see, both of the aeroplane designs that I told you in the beginning have the same materials, just copy and paste opposite of each other, you see? So because of that, we have 4 steel mills shooting down. And obviously apart from that, while we're going up, it will be 4, 8, 12, 16, 20 and keeping going up. Alright. I put a conveyor in front. Alright, you can say you don't need that. You can put a glass pane. Yes, you can put a glass pane, but it will still give a problem when you want to go very high up, because if you use glass panes as they do in RS or in other farms, I like that as well, it's good. But when you go 3 layers or 4 layers, it's okay. But if you go to 5, 10, 15 layers, when it falls down, it starts to slide like in real life. It goes like by gravity, sometimes left, sometimes right, sometimes in front, sometimes it never reaches its goal. So because of that, I removed the the glass pane, and I put a square column. You can say even, yes, you put a square column, but you can still keep the, remove the, let's say, remove the conveyor from there. Yes, I can, but if I remove the conveyor, the square shape will has the square column will have a flaw, will have a tiny spot that's empty. Because the tiny spot is empty, when things are falling from very high up, as I told you before, they were like moving left and right, they will start hitting all the edges of the glass column, and while they're doing it, a few of them may find that empty spot and get stuck there. So I use a conveyor to fix that. You can use a stair. I recently tried as well to use a stair instead of that. You can, it works, but things will eventually get stuck there, even with the stair. You can test everything if you like to see if my idea works or not, but I tested literally everything before I check and show you guys. Always I test everything. I like new ideas, so if somebody has a new idea about this tower and would like to talk to me about it, yes, I would like. I always open for any ideas. I like that because at least I know that people are really taking care of what I'm doing here. I'm not really looking for audience, alright? I'm not an audience person. But I like it when somebody actually does take care of what I'm doing and tries it, you know? Alright, so we have the two airplane models, the filter in the middle, the conveyor in the middle, cold totems, the options added to the filters, and the two steel mills with the two conveyors at the sides, left and right. The smelter on top of the filter, always on top of the filter, but be careful on how you put the filter, because if you put it the wrong way around, the thing will not work, because exactly when the smelter pulls out the iron has to fall on the conveyor beneath it, and the filter has to take it in. If the filter doesn't take it in because it's installed the other way around, nothing will work and you'll do a whole tower for nothing. Always be sure of every layer what you're doing. Okay, right now we have the second layer done. We can upgrade the totems while we're here. I went to 25. Okay, 1 second, I skipped it by a little bit, but it's no problem. Okay, I stick to the 25s because it doesn't need to be that fast. It has to be a little bit more fast, but not too much. I didn't put the utility one. We don't need the utility one. I put the efficiency and the quality up. It's still level 52 here. It can go till 50 or till 48. It doesn't matter. As long as you hit that level 20 on the efficiency and level 20 on the quality. So it has a bit more percentage for the work it's doing. Okay. Now we can go 2 more levels, and at the same time we can do the columns as well. I normally leave the columns work for the end because it's the easiest part to do. Basically what you need to do is you need to grab glass. I use transparent glass because it's the easiest type that you can see everything through it without any problems, but you can use whatever block you like. Okay. I normally leave this for the end because while I'm going up, I just keep going up and that's it. And don't just stop for one layer, you know. So for now I am just doing it so you can see how to do it. Then I just continue and finish it right up and then show you the finished part. So as you can see right now, the machines are working fine. Alright, and everything is falling into place. Okay, so that is part 1 of the new SGT tower. Is exactly the same as the old SGT tower, but I changed the colors and changed the design of the staircase so it's more nice than it was, because the older SGT tower that I did, as I told you before, I did the staircase after I finished the tower. That was not very good because it took me some time to identify how to join the 4 steel mills into one. But anyway, you don't need to join them into one. You can do it like, example, these two shooting in one steel press and the other two on the left shooting in another steel press to be exactly as a solid gearbox tower. Because in a gearbox tower you obviously know that you need the steel bolts and the steel plates. But anyway, this way you'll have faster steel plates when the total farm is done, and at the same time you can do another one like it, a bit far away though, for the steel bolts. You don't need to go that big for the steel bolts. You can go like for, let's say, 10 layers. Yeah, if you go for 10 layers, it's enough for the steel bolts to be very, very fast and efficient. Once you get those 2 towers and you have a couple of copper islands on your island, you'll have a perfect gearbox island. Alright, then I'll finish it later, but thank you, have fun building, and please leave a like and subscribe to my channel if you want to see further videos. Thank you very much for watching. See you soon.